Kia ora team, and welcome back to a second thrilling installment of Atomic Structure Part 2. Today we're going to focus on ions. This will allow you to complete the next set of pages in the book. Remember, at the end of the video will be the quiz questions I'll be quizzing you on to see if you have taken in everything from this video. I hope you enjoy it and find it informative. Welcome back to Atomic Structure Part 2. Today we're going to look at ions. Ions are electrically charged particles formed when atoms lose or gain electrons. This loss or gain leaves a complete highest energy level or outer electron shell. Before we go into how these form, let's look at reviewing some of the information we learnt in our periodic table prezi. In front of you now is an oxygen atom. This atom has an atomic number of 8 and an atomic mass of 16. Quickly jot down what this information tells you about this atom. So, hopefully, because of the atomic number of 8, you should be able to tell me that an oxygen atom has 8 protons. It also has 8 electrons. Doing a little bit of quick math, 16 minus 8, you should have been able to find the neutron number of 8 as well. You can also use this information to tell me its electron configuration. In the first shell, we can see 2 electrons, and in the second shell, the remaining 6. Linking it back to the periodic table can tell us a number of other things. These top numbers are known as the group number. These give us a hint to the charge of each atom. I will go into more detail about this later. Down the side of the periodic table, we have each atom's period number, or the row that they are located in. This tells us how many electron shells they have. For example, lithium has 2 shells. With an atomic number of 3, we can work out that the first shell would have 2 electrons, and the other one would have to go into the next electron shell, and therefore it is in period 3. So, positive ions. Positive ions tend to be the following. Mainly metal atoms, those found on the left-hand side of the periodic table. They are called cations. They will lose their valence electrons so that they can have a full outer shell. Therefore, they have a positive charge. But what does this mean and what does it look like? Well, here's an example. Hydrogen. Hydrogen has an atomic number of 1. Therefore, it has 1 proton and 1 electron. That also means it has 1 positive charge and 1 negative charge. If hydrogen wanted to fulfill a full outer shell, it is easier for it to get rid of its electron. We would write hydrogen like this, the symbol, capital H, and a plus sign in the top right-hand corner of it. A funny way to remember which one is which, positive ions are known as cations because cats are nice to some people. Not if you're a dog person, but if you're a cat person, that might help you remember it. Negative ions. These are known as anions, and they are all the non-metal atoms, those that you find on the right-hand side of the periodic table as you're looking at it. So if positive ions lose their electrons, then our negative ions gain them. They do this because it is easier for them to get a full outer shell by gaining a few electrons. I'll show you what I mean. Let's use oxygen as an example. Oxygen has an atomic number of 8 which means it has 8 protons and 8 electrons. Again, like hydrogen, that means it has 8 positive charges and 8 negative charges. Going into this one in a little bit more detail, we have the first 2 electrons found in the first shell, and we have the 6 remaining found in the second shell. As you can see, and because of the rules we learnt in our last video, we have space for 2 more electrons. It is far easier for an oxygen atom to gain 2 more electrons to make up a full outer shell than to lose all 6 in its valence shell. We therefore add 2 to oxygen to make an oxygen ion. As you can see, this gives us 2 more negative charges over the positives. So we would write an oxygen ion like the following. Its symbol, capital O, and then in the top right hand corner, a 2 minus. This symbolizes the extra 2 electrons it has gained. So, putting all this together, and the reason why you need to know this. So atoms can't just gain or lose electrons because there aren't just electrons floating around there. They must bind to another atom to complete their shells. Let's use water as an example, linking it back to our stream. Here is our oxygen atom from before. Now remember, these are just diagrams, and in actual fact, with these electron shells are actually clouds, and the electrons are spinning around those in random directions. So I've just drawn them a little bit differently to the previous diagram. Here is a hydrogen atom. Notice how I've drawn it so that it now shares one of the oxygen electrons. You can see this here. Here is another hydrogen atom, again sharing its electrons. So, in summary, atoms lose or gain valence electrons to fill their outermost shell or energy level. If they lose electrons, because they have lost negative charges, they become positive and are known as cations. This is because they will have more protons than electrons, therefore more positive charges versus negative. The opposite happens with anions, as they gain electrons and therefore gain more negative charges. To achieve a full outer shell, they will bind to another atom to form a stable element or compound. Hopefully now you can answer these following questions. These will be in the quiz that you receive in our next lesson. You can also complete pages 14 to 19 now, and hopefully that will reinforce and cement all this knowledge into your brains. For those that are really wanting to push themselves, I challenge you with this extension. Using all this new knowledge, could you draw me oxygen, hydrochloric acid, table salt, and ammonia, similar to the diagram that I drew when I showed you how to put all this knowledge together and showed you water, H2O. Good luck, gentlemen. I hope you all do better than you did on the periodic table quiz. See you in class.